Okay, so the last video is getting kind of long, so here's a short one on the ABO system. Quick review. Blood's made up of plasma and formed elements. Plasma being mostly water with some dissolved proteins and electrolytes, and the formed elements are erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets. In this video, we're going to talk about a condition called anemia, the importance of blood donation and giving blood in the ABO system. So first up, what is anemia? Anemia is a condition where you don't have enough red blood cells to carry the oxygen your body needs. Patients with anemia will look pale, they'll be weak, and possibly short of breath. There are a lot of things that can cause it, but we're going to focus on just a few today. So first up is hemorrhagic anemia. Your blood can't carry oxygen very well when it's on the floor. This type of anemia is commonly found in injured patients, say someone was shot or stabbed, or they've come out of surgery but they're still bleeding, and they've lost a lot of their blood volume. So unfortunately, this is something that the paramedics in the group are going to have to get ready to see, but we spend a lot of time practicing this and getting ourselves prepared so you'll be ready when you see these patients. So the next type is the deficiency anemias. These are caused when you're lacking the vitamins and minerals needed to make red blood cells. So the ones that you do make aren't really as effective as they should be. It's kind of like if you were building cars but you ran out of tires. Sure, you can make loads of them, but they don't drive near as well as they should. Common deficiencies would be in the lack of iron or a lack of vitamin B12. We also have hemolytic anemias, which mean that the blood cells die prematurely, in some cases due to genetic issues. The two most common types of hemolytic anemia are thalassemia, which is a genetic condition where the patient doesn't form the hemoglobin correctly, or sickle cell anemia, a condition where the hemoglobin is curved inward instead of that normal flat shape, and they're unable to function properly. Whatever the cause of anemia, one possible treatment can be a blood transfusion. So a blood transfusion is where you take blood from one person and give it to another. But it's not as simple as just hooking two people together with some tubes and letting it go. Every red blood cell is covered in a variety of proteins called antigens. These are normally harmless, and essentially they just kind of stick around on our red blood cells, just floating around. The most common ones are called A antigens or B antigens, but there's millions and millions of antigens. Of those two types, A and B, some people only have A antigens on their blood cells, so they will be classified as a type A. Some people only have B, so they will be type B blood. Some people have both A and B, so we call those guys type A and B, and for those who have no antigens or none of the A or B antigens, we will call them type O. So like I said, the antigens themselves are harmless. They don't do anything, they just kind of float around. However, some people have antibodies in their bloods as well. So the antibodies are proteins that are designed to destroy or highlight a particular chemical to be destroyed. So we use these all the time when we get sick. Our body finds a virus, it covers it in antibodies, which highlights it for the leukocytes to come and destroy it. Antibodies play a huge role in why vaccines are effective and a great way of preventing people from getting sick. So going back to the blood, being more specific, people who have type A blood will have B antibodies floating around in their bloodstream, while people with type B blood will have A antibodies. People with type O or AB have neither type of antibodies. So what would happen if we gave somebody with A antibodies type A blood? The antibodies would stick onto the antigen and cause their lymphocytes, their body's own immune system, to destroy the blood. And this would be a type of hemolytic anemia called a transfusion reaction. These reactions can be life-threatening if not caught early, and are why all healthcare providers have to be very careful when it comes to blood transfusions. My nursing students are really going to dive in on this. On top of that, there's another common antigen called the Rh factor. Same kind of concept. Some people have the Rh antigens, so they will be considered Rh positive, and some don't, so we call those guys negative. That's why when we do blood types, they're commonly written as A positive or AB negative. The letter is one set of antigens, and the positive or negative is the other.